But at the same time, let's put the focus on one particular stock, that's Subex, which has been pretty much in focus throughout morning on the back of a development regarding the company. Stocks up by nearly 5%. They've signed an asset purchase agreement. Mr. Subash Menon, who's the founder and chairman and CEO at Subex, is now joining us on the phone line. Mr. Menon, thank you so much for joining us. Take us to the highlights of the deal that you just signed this morning.
Well, we have sold the activation business which we acquired from Synthesis in 2007. That business contributed almost 20% to our revenue last year. However, that business never quite made profits for us over these years, and only in 1 year, last year, it just about got to a break-even situation. So that's what we have sold at this point in time.
And what is the amount, if you can give us, to kind of the kind of money that you will be getting in terms of the sale?
So that has not been disclosed, and so I will not be able to share that with you, unfortunately. I can tell you that the acquirer is Netcracker, which is a subsidiary of NEC of Japan. NEC, of course, as you know, is a very large corporation in the telecom space. So Netcracker, NEC through Netcracker is the acquirer.
Take us to the verticals performance also, as to how vertical performances have actually been for Subex over the last couple of quarters, and what's the outlook going forward?
Well, if you look at the products business, we have had two parts to it. One is business optimization. The other one is this particular thing, fulfillment and assurance solutions. The business optimization space has been growing very well over the past. I mean, last year, for example, it grew at a little over 15%, and 16%. And EBITDA, at the EBITDA level, it was at almost like 39%. That was the business optimization space. Whereas this particular space, fulfillment and assurance solutions, has been degrowing on an annual basis. It's been coming down dramatically over the past few years. And it was also making losses in all those years, except for FY11 when it kind of broke even. So if you look at the FY11 product EBITDA, overall it was 33%. So if one were to negate the impact of what we have sold now from that particular EBITDA number, you would see the core business had an EBITDA of almost 39%. The same stands true for FY12 at the current financial year first quarter, which we concluded a few months ago in June. So the core business has had an EBITDA of about 39% for the past couple of years, and it's now growing at 20% plus at the top line.
Well, at the same time, coming back to the sale of asset that we were talking about earlier itself, any kind of estimates or any kind of plans as of right now to where you will be injecting the funds which you will be getting in terms of sale? I don't want the exact figure as such, but any plans that you could possibly highlight for us right now?
So we will use that to retire debt, to pay down maybe working capital, maybe bank debt. So that's what we'll use for, apart from some general expenses. This is what it will primarily be used for.
And finally, what's the outlook in terms of FY12? How are we looking at growth panning out?
We have been speaking about a 20% top line growth, and that will happen.
Okay, Mr. Menon, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us and giving a perspective on the highlights of the transaction, as well as an outlook. 20% growth is what Mr. Menon had to say. That's an outlook coming from Subex.
They're focusing on their core business, and that's obviously a good sign. The market is taking it positively. Remember, as he mentioned, it is a business, the activation sale business, which has not done well for them over the last few years. Though it contributed 20% of revenues, it was not a profitable business. So getting a big thumbs up. Another stock getting a big thumbs up, and we'll get you more on that on the other side of the break. On market analytics is Evron.